Can you have a sexual relationship in the astral world?
Yes. It is a functional, ethereal body. They say it's our true self. Everything works the same.
In the astral world or in this world?
In the astral world.
Okay.
Yes.
But you broke up with him because you found out he was jumping in somebody else's bed.
A female entity would come and spy on him when he'd come and visit me out of my body. And she slapped me up one time in my sleep, and I found out that she had already had one of his kids. So he was a young father, and she was pregnant during that time with his second. So she was another interdimensional that came around and found out who he was visiting.
So he had an astral baby.
He has 3 astral babies.
And did he go to astral jail?
That was why he was missing from 2005 to 2008, because they sent him to like a juvenile detention center.
You've had words of encouragement from Jesus himself.
Yes, so.
In the astral world.
Yes.
And what were those words?
There was a time when this not being able to sleep came to the point. I mean, you have to understand, not only having these out-of-body traumas, nightmares, whatever you want to call them, I literally just bought a box of surgical blades. I actually took one of the blades out and I began cutting my wrist. And I cut my wrist in a way that I learned from an entity probably around 2004, the right way to do it. And I just began cutting, and I thought about it for a moment, and I said, did I actually try everything? Maybe I need to repent. Because I was saying my prayers, Dr. Phil. I repented and said a prayer, and I just kind of put those awful thoughts away for a moment. And I think within 3 or 4 days, that was when I was pulled out of my body, kept waking up, had another experience to attempt to go back to sleep. And that was when I had this interdimensional, seemed to be female, pin me to the wall of my bedroom on the astral plane. And she was just with a just gnashing of the teeth. I don't know, she was saying something. I couldn't really understand. And I just thought to myself, my soul, I'm just gonna have to do it this time. I'm just gonna have to like end my life. And that was when something happened in the space, like another dimension. It was like something cracked in that weird space, and I heard the voice, and it sounded familiar to me. And he said, to be still. Fear not, you will be guided. Those were his exact words. And that's when I just decided to wake up out of it again, because she's pinned to me, you know? And I just had to just sit there for 5 minutes recalling what had happened.
When was the first time anyone ever talked to you about this astral world? That was your mother, correct? Or was it your grandmother?
To be honest, me and my grandmother, Rose, were never really that close. I just knew that she'd seen the ghosts and she can talk to them. And that there were times where they were just very pestering. She never really went into detail until I started going through it. She just said that there was good and evil in this world, and she was always praying her rosary.
And your mother has these experiences as well.
I mean, she's had her fair share, yes.
And when did you learn that she was having these experiences?
Well, she never really cared to talk about them too much when we were kids. But as we got older, probably, you know, being 18, we've learned about the foretelling of the birth of me and my brother, seeing, you know, Mother Mary in visions, and what she believes is also Jesus Christ talking to her about us being born.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.